Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Bronze League Heroes! And today featuring our heroes on Dragonshire. From the blue team we have Valeera, Jaina, Falstad, Nazeebo and Reyna. And on the red hand side we have the infamous Orc Warchief, Garrosh, Li Ming, Genji, Malfurion and the Butcher. And accordingly, this replay was sent in by one of our viewers, so we currently have this Nazeebo saying that we don't really need a strat here, I'll comp Rex stairs, and I'm pretty sure that this Nazeebo is ultimately he's trolling because we have Valeera an assassin, Jaina a ranged assassin, Falstad another assassin, Reyna pre-rework which is a meme, and Nazeebo who doesn't really do anything until level 20. And on the red team we have a very scary main tank in the form of Garrosh, as well as Li Ming, Genji, Malfurion who has his roots, and Butcher, which is very scary when he's carried by his team. And Butcher charges and gets a kill on Valeera immediately, giving the Butcher that extra fresh meat that he needs in order to kickstart his fresh meat career in chopping enemy heroes. So right now, Butcher, I can't really see talents. Butcher already has 27 meat, and very good, going well for Butcher. Meanwhile, let's open up the talent tab and see what talents the blue team has gone for. The blue team, Reyna, of course, going for Seasoned Marksman, and Nazeebo going for Plague of Toads, the Pandemic, as well as Falstad. So we have basically two Seasoned Marksmen, which is a little bit strange, which means that they'll be totally useless in the early game, unable to gain any sort of macro control over the objective. But I think Falstad does get a kill on Butcher. I think that was aided by Valeera, probably. I mean, Butcher, he's just running out of position, and unfortunately the fresh meat that he did get in the beginning of the game, he does lose 15 fresh meat upon dying, and Jane is just gonna do a little bit of farming. I'm really not sure why Garrosh is in the top lane contesting the shrine. In fact, Garrosh should probably be with his team at all times so that he can set up and secure kills. As Valeera comes in, silences Garrosh, but Garrosh, unfortunately, too tanky. Will Garrosh throw Valeera over? I mean, Valeera was just a little bit too close there for close comfort. I'm really not sure why Garrosh didn't throw her over. Maybe he already used his throw, I'm not sure in that regard. But Butcher's coming up, Butcher's looking to secure some kills for himself. And Jaina is looking very, very fresh and low for the Butcher. Will the Butcher charge right in to kill Jaina? No, Garrosh gets silenced again. Meanwhile, the Butcher is farming his minions while he sees his tank getting killed. Butcher, use your ruthless onslaught. Get that Jaina right now. Nope, Butcher charges in at the most inexplicable time, and they do manage to secure the kill on Valeera. Wow. Meanwhile, Genji and Li Ming, they're trying to farm the middle lane. And Falstad, he's unfortunately in a bit of a bad spot, and Li Ming's Arcane Orb manages to take out Falstad. Falstad not having his barrel roll up, not having those extra shields. And Reyna back at it again with his Adrenaline Rush healing, which is totally useless. And Reyna's ultimate penetrating round does manage to penetrate Genji and force him away. Meanwhile, Genji does take the point, but Genji's very low on mana. Reyna could re-engage at any moment, and Valeera's silence is especially good against Genji. If Valeera just hops in, silences Genji, Genji's life will be donezo. But Genji a little bit too low on mana to use the Swift Strike, as the red team does manage to secure their first Dragonite of the game, and they continue to bash down some structures with it. So far, the blue team is doing an excellent job of having the triple what is it? I don't even know. It's the quadruple assassin, one specialist team composition. Most effective as Reyna comes in with a devastating flank as he has his Adrenaline Rush up, but will it be enough to take down the Butcher? The Butcher overextending a little bit too much, and Butcher gets taken out by the tower, and Malfurion walks in the game for absolutely no reason. I have absolutely no reason why Malfurion, what exactly was Malfurion doing here? He must have had an epiphany or something, deciding that walking into the enemy tower is a good idea as a healer. As Garrosh, he's going to help take down the tower, and Valeera silences Garrosh and rip Garrosh 2018 as the face-off between the two majors begin. Will Leaving or Jaina take it? Now I understand that Leaving is far better at poking, meanwhile Jaina has a far better good setup burst combo. Also, as Leaving is a bit reliant on her resets in order for damage, but Jaina, she's got that base movement speed slow from her basic abilities. I mean all her abilities from that extra chill, lingering chill. Indeed, Jaina took it so that she can peel for herself a little bit better. So she can continuously slow large groups of enemies for an extended period of time, as well as getting frost armor. That's good against Butcher, I suppose, but Leaving is a little bit too low, and Valeera doing her job fairly well, I must say. Valeera, a niche pick, but a good pick nonetheless. As Butcher continues to farm up his fresh meat, and this Genji Swift Strike reveals Valeera, and Butcher charges in for a potential kill on Valeera, not before Valeera decides to Sinister Strike away, and Genji is a little bit wanted to follow up on that kill, but unfortunately did not manage to secure the kill. Regardless, and Malfurion's gonna do a little bit of Malfurion PvE. Welcome to Malfurion PvE. Well, Malfurion has absolutely terrible wave clear and horrible heals. And Malfurion dueling Reyna to the death. Will Malfurion win this? I think Malfurion does not manage to win it, even with the combined efforts of Malfurion's Treant and his minions. How unfortunate for Malfurion. As the Butcher, he's looking to stack up a little bit more kills. Will Genji and Butcher gang up on Jaina in order to deliver the kill? Butcher, why did you go away? Genji's in severe need of assistance. You should have just charged in on Jaina. Maybe that wasn't a very good idea. Let's see what talents the Butcher has picked. Lamb to the slaughter. Victuals. Okay, that's definitely the worst talent at the level 7 talent here. Victuals. Every time a nearby enemy minion dies, the Butcher heals 5% of his maximum health. I mean, it could be good, but I mean, with Malfurion there, he really shouldn't need those heals in lane. And Valeera's Smoke Bomb that does manage to obscure Butcher's Ruthless Onslaught, his stun. As we Genji taking out the Nazeebo. The Nazeebo and the Valeera's ultimate silence combined with Malfurion's Twilight Dream. They will manage to secure a kill on Jaina. And Nazeebo's very angry at this moment. He says, "Get Genji, F him. I really hate Genji. I really don't want to see Genji ever again in my life." And Garrosh going for the correct heroic of choice indeed. He's going for Decimate. This is definitely the heroic you want to be taking in 99% of the game, because Decimate is just such a good, I mean, it's such a good slow, man, and it slows for 30%. I mean, that's definitely better than Warlord's Challenge, where you can taunt people for 2 seconds. But who the heck needs a taunt when you can just swing your axe and slow the enemy? So, for the pro tip of the day, you should pick Decimate in 99% of the games as Garrosh. No, I'm just kidding, as Nazeebo is going to get taken out by Genji. Unfortunately, Nazeebo's Gargantuan did not do much to save him, except for doing a little bit of damage on Malfurion. And, of course, Nazeebo, being the salty specialist, he says, F Genji, in all caps, F him up. And I really sure hope that that isn't the viewer who sent the replay in, because that would be a little bit hilarious, wouldn't it? But nevertheless, Valeera, she's going to get revealed by Garrosh's Warbreaker. And Garrosh, look at that! Look at that value on the Decimate. He just slowed Valeera. That's definitely a very, very good value. As well as Garrosh just soloing the top lane with no assistance from his team whatsoever. That's definitely what you want to be doing as a tank in Bronze League. You should never listen to your teammates. You should never coordinate with them. You should just go on your own when you're the main tank, because a main tank is also an assassin, right? Am I right? And Genji's X-Strike. Unfortunately, Valeera did have a fairly well-placed smoke bomb there, obscuring Genji's vision. Even with Genji's cybernetic implants, he still can't see through a smoke bomb. That's definitely very, very Strange, but nevertheless, Butcher comes in, lands to slaughter, a bit of overkill, and Falstad's, whatever it's called. What is it called? Hinterland loss, right. Managed to deal some damage, but unfortunately that damage was just inconsequential. But Falstad's heroic is on now a 60-second cooldown just now, because he did manage to hit a couple of heroes with it. And Reina, the Space Marine, does manage to take down Garrosh as Genji swift strikes on in again, attempting to secure the kill on Reina. And Nazeebo, very angry at Genji. I would be surprised if this Nazeebo does not chase Genji down to the last inch of the map in order to kill Genji. And Nazeebo, he knows that Genji's there. Will Nazeebo land his corpse spiders? Oh, unfortunately the flag is too good, and I'm not really sure what Genji was doing there. I think he was trying to secure the Dragon Knight for his team, but unfortunately no one on the red team was on the Dragon Knight. And unfortunately, this channel should be censored, but Nazeebo, he says low. I will not say that word, but you see the chat, so. Unfortunately, Nazeebo being very, very salty indeed. I'm really not sure why Nazeebo is so salty. What's the point? You picked Nazeebo into a Garrosh and a Butcher and a Malfurion and a Genji. It's definitely your fault that you're dying so much. Oh, let's see who's Nazeebo's going to blame this time for his death. Let's just wait for Nazeebo's raging salty chat. Sleeping, hiding in the bushes, trying to secure that Dragon Knight for her team. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anything the blue team can do here. I think this fort is already a lost cause. As Raina's Raiders, the Banshee, is going to be doing so much damage. Just look at that awesomeness. As Genji swift strikes in, gets stunned and gets killed immediately by Raina's penetrating round. Reina, such a good hero. So powerful with his penetrating round, knocking back people. As Butcher charges on in, and the Ring of Frost does not manage to land on Butcher, and Butcher's massive heals off of his auto attacks. Butcher! No! Butcher just died! Oh my goodness, Butcher just died. But Butcher does have his fresh meat quest complete, so Butcher's not afraid of dying anymore, as Nazeebo only has 70 stacks so far into the game. And you know what would be even funnier if Nazeebo picked Viral Infection at level 20 and then complains that his team isn't giving him any farm to farm up his stacks. And of course, Nazeebo's Toad quest is complete. That means he'll be doing a lot of more AoE damage with his Plague of Toads. But I don't think that's going to help anytime soon. Because what this Nazeebo needs is a good psychological therapist in order to help him with his salt issues. His tilt issues, indeed. A little bit overboard, getting killed by Genji, getting killed by X and X, and he just rages at apparently no one but Genji. Apparently Genji's the most annoying. In my opinion, Genji is annoying, but I think Garrosh is even more annoying. That's just my opinion. You can of course dispute it, but Garrosh is definitely very annoying in terms of disrupting the enemy lines and just being a nuisance to people in general, as the Dragon Knight does not manage to land that charge, and Garrosh, he is posing a little bit too forward, but Genji's Swift Strike and his X Strike do manage to take out a couple of enemy heroes. I mean, that was a 1-for-2 trade. Even if Genji dies here, it would be fine. And I think that Jaina gets tossed over the wall and silenced, and oh, Valera gets silenced, and doopity doop. Nazeebo, the lone man, the lone witch doctor. Stasis time, will he manage to take out Garrosh? Oh Garrosh, you've just ventured a little bit too deep into the blue team territory, which is not optimal. As Nazeebo's siege camp, I mean his bruiser camp that Nazeebo took a couple of minutes earlier, is going to do a little bit of damage, taking out that fort, but unfortunately the red team is in the level lead, and once the red team reaches level 20, there'll be nothing that the blue team can do to stop their onslaught. I think that Butcher will be so powerful, level 20 indeed. Butcher went for the Enrage, which is when Butcher's below 50% of his maximum health. Taking damage will make him more tanky and more DPS, more attack speed. So that's going to be very scary indeed. Right now Butcher is at 240 meat with 519 attack damage. Definitely very devastating. If Butcher manages to catch out any one of these blue team members, it will be GG for the blue team. As Nazeebo, he's closing in to level 20, but he only has 94 voodoo ritual stacks. I'm a bit concerned for Nazeebo. He's going to blame his team for not having enough farm now. Reina increasing his attack speed, trying to take down these towers, get that XP in order to race to level 20. No! What are you doing, Malfurion? Why did you cast Twilight Dream just now? What on earth are you doing? You're not securing up anything. This is a 5v2 as the whole of the blue team is concerned at taking down this fort, which I'm not really concerned about, but I think that taking down this fort combined with a couple more minion waves might just do the trick for the blue team. I think the blue team is just running in, securing that kill on Malfurion, but unfortunately they do sacrifice. Nope, Nazeebo goes to stasis, and Genji just sort of leaps on in, but Valeria managed to secure that kill on Butcher. Actually, this might be a turnaround for the blue team. I mean, Garrosh and Li Ming, they were just doing their own thing, and if Garrosh was there spamming his deadly calmed decimate, I mean that would have been a pretty one-sided team fight. But unfortunately, the blue team is doing a better job at teamwork than the red team. But Li Ming's bursty combo does manage to kill Reina. And Nazeebo, let's see, Nazeebo hasn't picked his level 20 talent yet. I really hope that Nazeebo doesn't take a viral infection. I'm just gonna laugh at him. Li Ming's Wave of Force does not manage to secure the kill on Nazeebo, but Genji does manage to Swift Strike on in, and of course Nazeebo is going to blame Genji again. Let's wait for it. Let's wait for it. Come on, Nazeebo, you know you have the salt in you. You want to spam I hate Genji all day in all caps every single day of your life. As Valeria does manage to secure a kill on Li Ming, and Valeria is actually going to take the Dragon Knight in time just before Genji manages to interrupt that channel. So a 16-minute Dragon Knight, definitely not something to be laughed at. And Butcher, unfortunately, has a very high DPS at this point, and poor Falstad, he's just caught out, and Valeria is just doing absolutely nothing except for wanting to take down the enemy towers. But at this point, the Dragon Knight would have been better. In order, the correct decision would have just been to leave the Dragon Knight and just clear out the waves. I mean, Valeria's probably not going to die here, hopefully, but Nazeebo still hasn't picked this level 20 talent, and if Nazeebo takes Violent Infection, I'm seriously going to strangle this Nazeebo. Oh lord, Nazeebo, please no. This is a Nazeebo meme. Every time I cast a Bronze League Heroes, there's literally a 90% chance of having a Nazeebo, and then Reina gets stunned, Ruthless Onslaught, Lamb to the Slaughter, and Valeria gets silenced by Malfurion's Twilight Dream. Unfortunately, the blue team were just a little bit too hopeful there, and Nazeebo is going to AFK. Nazeebo the Witch Doctor. Still not getting his level 20 talent. I mean, yes, Nazeebo, thank God you got the correct level 20 talent in this game, because you have absolutely no farm, and Gargantuan will simply allow you to defend your keeps and forts much better, as well as team fighting much better if you don't have Violent Infection. Just allowing him to spam that Gargantuan. For example, right now the red team is pushing in with the Bruiser Camp. Nazeebo can simply spawn a Gargantuan and just force the red team off the point. And Falstack gets thrown, and Genji's Swift Strike finishes off Mr. Falstack there, as Nazeebo's Gargantuan should be off cooldown fairly quickly. 15 seconds until Nazeebo's Gargantuan is up again. And the red team making a small mistake, overextending a little bit there if they manage to get the Butcher. Oh, but Jaina's rooted. I don't think there's much Jaina can do here. Poor Jaina. Oh my goodness, Nazeebo, the salt, man, the salt. You have too much salt in your system. Jesus Christ, it's just Genji. Those were avoidable deaths. And Genji is only good at finishing kills. He's not good at engaging fights. And of course, Valeria being the chill bro that he is, I presume that the player playing Valeria is a male. And Valeria does say, sadly, Genji is a virgin. I'm really not sure how that's appropriate or relevant here. But Nazeebo is potentially, he needs to tone down on the sauce a little bit. He could get reported for abusive chat in quite a lot of his games if he continues just to have a personal vendetta against Genji. But right now, a 19-minute Dragon Knight with Malfurion in it. This means that the red team is sacrificing their main healer in order for a little bit of extra damage. But false stats, Hinterland Blast does manage to hit Genji, but Genji manages to put up his deflect in time. And, I mean, if Butcher does manage to land a charge on anybody, it's gotta be GG. But with Butcher's massive attack damage right now, the red team can just simply wreck this blue team core very quickly. Even with Nazeebo's Gargantuan guarding it, there's nothing that Butcher can do. And Butcher actually survives with 91 health, and that will be the game! GG to both teams. Well done to the red team, and of course, the blue team is going to be very salty. Well, the blue team wasn't that salty, to be honest, but it was mainly Nazeebo being salty. Let's have a look at the end of game stats, with Nazeebo having 6 deaths, which is, well, not as much as Reina or Valera. I'm not really sure why Nazeebo was raging the whole way through. I mean, Genji did do the most hero damage, but that's really not something you can rage at. But anyway, that will be the game for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bronze League Heroes. If you want to see more content like this, or you want to be a person who submits a funny replay, please do send in the replays to sir.lightofvoid at gmail.com. Like our kind viewer has submitted here. I'm really not sure which person on blue team submitted this replay. Hopefully not the Nazeebo. But thank you very much for the replay. I think I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.